The suspense has been building for a while, but we are finally here. Hey everyone, welcome to the finals of this tournament. And here is your roster, where half of them are undefeated actually. They have not lost a single race. In this first group is the Firebird, the Chevy, the Corvette, and the Mustang. Now, I believe out of these four, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think only one of them actually is undefeated, and that being the Firebird. I think the other three were a red Mustang, a silver Ferrari, and a red Ford. Right now, though, the Firebird is showing why he is an undefeated racer, because he is out in front. He did shake loose a little bit, but that doesn't seem to faze him as he goes into this final stretch. No one even close to him, finishing with a 12.95. Not his fastest time, which I still think is a 12.64. I could very well be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But the Firebird takes the first win. They still have not lost one race. That face on the side is still creepy, but that doesn't affect how they race. It just affects how I react to the design. In this second race now, Firebird does have the slight edge, but the Chevy took it from him for a second before the Firebird took it right back. And now they're trying to expand their lead as much as they can. That Mustang is trying to catch him with the Chevy right behind him. And here comes the Mustang. They're trying to catch him, but they just cannot do it with that wide turn. And the Firebird finishes with a 12.96, under 13 seconds yet again. One more win, and they will be in the last group of this tournament. The top four. And they still haven't lost a race. Here we go into race number 3. This could make or break everything. At least for the Firebird. They're trying to keep that lead. So far, some of these faster racers we've seen don't start out that fast, but once they get to the second or third turn, they suddenly start pulling away out of nowhere, and that's exactly what the Firebird is doing. The Corvette is trying to take at least second, now trying to catch up to the Firebird. But again, that wide turn just seems to be having it in for all these other racers. And the Firebird is finishing almost at the exact same time each and every time, only being off by about 2/100ths of a second usually. But the Firebird has already sealed their spot in the absolute final group. It's just a matter of whether or not they can win this one and get another sweep. So far, the Chevy is in front, but that wide turn changes everything. And there goes the Firebird, trying to make it so they have another sweep and keeping their hopes alive at being an undefeated racer throughout this entire tournament, which is extremely rare, but is definitely possible, especially with a racer like this. They have the sharpest turn, rather, and they do it. They finish with an undefeated record still in these grand finals, finishing with a 12.9. The Corvette will be joining him, but that score is not very promising if they want to take on the Firebird. In the second group, the Mustang, the Ford, the Ferrari, and a Corvette. The Mustang, Ford, and Ferrari are the other three racers that have not lost a single race. And because 3 of them are here, it's pretty much guaranteed that at least 2 of them will lose their chance to stay undefeated, in these groups here. And so far, the one out in front appears to be the Mustang, so if anyone's going to keep their hopes alive at staying undefeated, it's going to be him, and he does it. So the Ford and the Ferrari have already lost their chance at staying undefeated throughout this entire tournament. Now there's only 2 racers throughout this whole thing that have not lost a race yet. That Mustang and the Firebird. So let's see if that Mustang can keep it up. I am sure that the Ford and the Ferrari are not happy at their chances being killed. So I'm sure they're going to have it out for that Mustang, which could be very dangerous in races like these. So it's probably a good thing that all the lanes are separated and never merge. The Mustang is having none of that though, and they take off with the lead yet again. And no one is able to catch them as they finish in first once more. This time with a 12.83. That's about as fast as the Firebird's been getting. If not even faster, actually. But generally, it's around the same, and the Mustang still hasn't lost a race. If they can get one more, they will join the Firebird in the Grand Finals. They already are starting off with a decent lead when it comes to starting the race off. And here they go. The Corvette is trying to stay on his tail, but the Mustang is really good at expanding their lead. The Ferrari and the Ford are trying to speed up and catch him, possibly jumping lanes to knock him out of the track because they're just so angry at him. But the Mustang does finish in first yet again, so he will join the Firebird in the Grand Finals. If he wins one more race here, then there will be 2 racers in the last round of the tournament that still have not lost a race. That will make it an absolute nail-biter, and some of the times that Mustang has been pulling off in these groups here show that they could very well be the one racer to possibly dethrone the Firebird for not only being the undefeated racer of the entire tournament, but also possibly, if they do well, grab the fastest time from them. And it looks like they will grab that win. So we will have 2 racers in the grand final round that have not lost a race. And it'll be the Ferrari joining him. But the 2 racers that are undefeated are really the only 2 that seem to have any shot at winning this whole thing. The Mustang and the Firebird are now fierce rivals. Only one of them will have a chance to grab the title at being the undefeated champion, which is very rare, but that makes it all the more exciting that it could happen today. If the Ferrari or the Corvette finishes in front of them at any point, then their chances are dashed for both of them. Right now the Mustang is in front of the Firebird, but the Firebird has a tighter turn, takes advantage of that, and grabs the lead, finishing with a 12.83. So now it's the Mustang that has been denied a chance at being the undefeated champion, and the Firebird keeps their hopes alive with only 3 races to go. Into heat number 2. 3 races left in this tournament, and the Firebird has a shot at staying undefeated. I'm sure the Mustang really wants to take that away from them since the Firebird just took it from them. But we will have to see what happens. They are side by side. And they go into these last couple of turns, and the Mustang is in front, but here comes the Firebird again, and it's actually the Ferrari right next to him trying to grab second. But they just could not do it, and the Firebird once again finishes in first, finishing with almost the exact same time. They only have 2 races left. Will they be able to pull this off? If they win one more time, then they are the guaranteed champion. But they're 2 races away from being an undefeated champion. I'm sure this has everyone in the audience on the edges of their seats. The Mustang has the better start, but the Firebird takes the lead back, and the Mustang is right on his tail. The Mustang has a tighter turn, so here we go into this next one. And the Mustang takes the lead back. Can they hold on to it? They have a tighter turn again, but the Firebird is coming up fast. And now he has the tighter turn, grabs the lead, and the Firebird grabs the ultimate win. They will be your champion. And now, not only this, but they are 1 race away from being the undefeated champion of this tournament, not losing a single race. And they still have the title for the fastest time so far. So if they finish in first, they will be undefeated. They will have the fastest time, and quite frankly, they may have the creepiest design. But they are quickly falling behind here. The Mustang is out in front. They have the wider turn, but here comes the Firebird out of nowhere, grabbing the lead yet again. The Firebird will have the widest turn here, but they have such a lead that it may not matter. Here he comes into the final stretch, and the Firebird is the ultimate champion, never losing a single race in this entire tournament, finishing with a 12.58. They managed to grab a fastest time again at the last second. The Firebird is the ultimate champion. Congratulations to him. Unfortunately, we didn't have anyone guess that the Firebird would win. But we'll see you in the next tournament.